Gotta get out, shred that gnar in Dallas, Texas. Welcome to the Wakend Update.
What's up, guys? We are starting a new series this week. Every year in the month of February, we do a relationship series. This year, we're titling it Nobody Wants to Be Lonely. In this series, we're teaching you the who, what, and the how of godly romance. Our hope and goal is that we would be able to lead and share with you how to do godly relationships well. We all have the desire for companionship, and we all want to be wanted. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually been placed inside of us. And we see that in Genesis 2:18. It says, God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helper and a companion." We are all born with the desire to be married. But when we are born, we are not ready to be married. So if God has put these desires for love and romance inside of us, then we have to ask ourselves a few questions. What do I do with these desires? Who's the type of person who finds these things? And when am I ready to be in a godly relationship? But for this message specifically, we're only going to focus on the who and the when of godly romance. So I'm going to share 3 things that help us understand the who and the when of godly relationships. So the first one is this: we have to follow facts instead of feelings. Our feelings aren't always trustworthy, and so when we trust in our own feelings, we end up using godly romance for a purpose that God did not intend it for. So we end up dating to validate ourselves, or to feel popular, or to have someone to text with, someone that thinks we're funny or attractive, to fill this void in our heart that we desperately want to be filled. So when we try to chase after these things to find life, it ultimately leaves us empty. And as Paul says in Romans 6:20, when we were slaves to sin, you were free from the control of righteousness. What benefit did you reap at that time from the things that you are now ashamed of? Those things result in death. So when we chase after things that don't satisfy, we see that it ultimately leads to death. When we walk in our own understanding, when we chase our feelings rather than the facts, we're left empty and hopeless inside. So it begs the question, then what are the facts? So the fact is this, that marriage is created by God, and it is a good thing. And so dating is the process of moving towards marriage. It is an evaluation to see if that is someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And so it says in Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? And we also see in Proverbs 3:5 and 6, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all that you do, and he will show you which path to take. So the reality is that your feelings are real and powerful. And while feelings are real, they're not reliable. And so that's why we have to lean on Proverbs 3:5 and 6. We have to walk not in our own understanding. So we walk by seeking godly counsel, trusting in the Lord alone, and reading his word. And the second point is this: focus on the person you're becoming. Proverbs 19:2 says, a person without knowledge is no good. A person in a hurry makes mistakes. Don't hurry through your time in junior high. Don't waste the season that you're in right now. God has you in a place where you get to learn about who he is, how to read his Bible, and how to love others. Don't waste this season. So a great way to focus on the person that we're becoming is to listen to godly advice. Find people in your life who will tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Share your feelings with your small group leaders and with your parents, and listen to their godly advice. Proverbs 19:27 says, if you stop listening to instruction, my child, you will turn your back on knowledge. And Proverbs 29:1 says, whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. So guys, the fact is, relationships are good. They're something that God created. But if we don't steward them well, we can leave ourselves and others with a lot of scars and hurts for years and years to come. But God has placed people in your lives to help you become the person that he wants you to be. He's given you his word, and so we have to study it and meditate on it and hide it in our hearts, so in order that we can steward the gifts that he's given us well. The third and last point is simple. Further the relationships you were already in. Guys, don't look for in a human being what God has designed for us to find in Jesus. Spend time asking yourself the question, is Jesus enough for me? Jesus himself says in Matthew 6, seek the kingdom of God above all else, Live righteously, and He will give you everything you need. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's troubles are enough for today. So if you can't answer yes to the question, is Jesus enough for me? Then I beg you to please listen to me here. That Jesus, He loves you so much that He died on a cross, that He was buried in the ground for 3 days, and He rose to life, so that we could have freedom and forgiveness from sin, so that we could walk in right relationship with God and with man. And He's given us a book and godly counsel to be able to do that well. And if you can answer yes to the question, Jesus is enough for me, then follow facts instead of feelings and focus on the person that you are becoming.